Hello dear friends, I Dr. Sayeda Sara welcome you at Anatomy Student Zone with another exciting and a difficult topic, that is dermatome. I focused on this because if you have covered spinal nerve, it will be incomplete without this topic, and second, without understanding of spinal nerve, this topic is also difficult to understand. So go through the spinal nerve before starting this. This topic is also having great clinical significance, so I am trying my best to cover this. Let's start. As I told you about the spinal nerve detail in a previous lecture, and we know spinal nerve are an integral component of the peripheral nervous system, and the spinal nerves are formed at the level of intervertebral foramina by the union of dorsal and ventral root. Hence, it's mixed nerve. After it emerges from the intervertebral foramina, it divides into two rami, which are posterior rami and the anterior rami, and both these rami also contains the sensory and the motor fibers. Hence, the anterior rami is also mixed, posterior rami is also mixed, and the spinal nerve is also a mixed nerve. Point to remember is that the sensory component of spinal nerve that supplies the segment of the skin is dermatome, and the component of this nerve that supplies the muscle is myotome. In this image, the area, segment or the part of skin and the muscle is shown. The unilateral area of skin, that is dermatome, and the unilateral portion of the skeletal muscle that we can see is myotome. So both are receiving the innervation from that of single spinal nerve. Now I will tell you about the detail of dermatome. The term dermatome is a combination of two words, derma meaning skin and the tome means the segment, band or a section. So dermatome is a segment or a section of a skin which is innervated by the posterior or the dorsal root of single spinal nerve. So point to remember is that the posterior root of spinal nerve, not the anterior root. So why just the posterior root and not the anterior root? Because the posterior root are organized into segments. Dermatomes are also organized into segments. And as I already told you, dermatomes are the segmental innervation of the skin. So to make my point more clear, I will revisit some important points that we covered in a spinal nerve. I had told you in a spinal nerve that when it is formed at the intervertebral foramina, it divides into anterior and the posterior rami. So the posterior rami of spinal nerve supplies the tape muscle of the back and the overlying skin, and the posterior rami carries both the motor and the sensory fiber. You know this. Most important to remember is posterior rami supplies in segmental pattern. As a general rule, the posterior rami remain separate from each other. They don't merge and they don't form the plexus like anterior rami. As we can see in this image, the three separate spinal nerves are numbered as 1, 2 and 3, and these spinal nerves are supplying the muscle and the skin. So remember that the pattern is segmental and there is no plexus formation in this image. But the anterior rami supply the nerve fiber to anterior and the lateral region of the trunk and the upper and the lower limb. However, in upper and the lower limb, the majority of anterior rami were merging together and they were forming the somatic nerve plexus that we had seen, like cervical plexus, brachial plexus, lumbosacral plexus. So here you can also see in this image that the cervical, upper and the lower limb region, these plexus are going to be formed that I have named. Just exception is the region of the trunk. In trunk region, for the spinal nerves T2 to T12, they generally don't merge and they don't form the plexus. Instead, the intercostal nerves are formed, and you also know this. To make it more clear, look into three spinal nerves shown as 1, 2 and 3 in this image. These nerves are combined into a one peripheral nerve. So this can also occur in the anterior and the lateral region of the trunk, in upper and the lower limb. And as I already told you that there is plexus formation in this area. In nutshell, the region of the trunk, there is absence of the plexus formation because in thorax, anterior rami are not forming the plexus, so the pattern is segmental. In this image, the anterior and the posterior side of the body is shown, mean the dorsal and the ventral rami distribution is shown, and we can clearly see this distribution is segmental. For dermatomes, remember there is a variation of these dermatomes from person to person and the textbook to textbook as well. Because the dermatomes are the thin segment, hence there is overlapping of the dermatome as well. On the trunk, the adjacent dermatome overlap. That's why interruption of the spinal nerve produces no anesthesia. The same happens on the limb. If the single spinal nerve is affected, there is likely still some degree of innervation to that segment of a skin that is coming from above or below due to that overlapping. You will go on a clinical side, you will see if the patient comes to you with a traumatic injury that is involving the spinal cord, you will have to test these dermatomes. As I told you, they are having great clinical significance. Why we test dermatome? It is because we want to determine whether there is a spinal cord lesion or not, and if the spinal cord lesion is present, what's the extent of that lesion. But remember, light touch and the pain will be tested separately, and as their fibers travel in a different path of the spinal cord. So moving towards the main topic, as all of us know, there are 31 bilateral pair of the spinal nerve, and they are named from the vertebrae they correspond. Spinal nerves are 8 cervical, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, 5 sacral and 1 coccygeal. So there are the 31 spinal nerves. But remember, there are 29 dermatomes. It is very difficult to remember all these dermatomes, but I will try my best to cover all that so that it becomes easy for you. So point to remember is that the first cervical nerve, it doesn't carry any dermatome. The reason for this is that the posterior root of the spinal nerve C1 is absent in most of the individual. So the dermatomes are from C2 to C8, T1 to T12, L1 to L5, S1 to S5. So first I will tell you about the dermatome of face, then head and neck region. After that I will cover upper limb dermatomes, and lastly we will go through the lower limb and the thorax dermatomes. For face, remember there are the 3 dermatomes, each of which are innervated one of the 3 branches of the trigeminal nerve, which is 5th cranial nerve, and its branches are ophthalmic, maxillary and the mandibular nerve. Hence face is not innervated by the spinal nerves. Now we will look into the dermatomes of the head and neck. These are innervated by the spinal nerves C2, C3 and C4. C1, if it's present, as I told you, it is not present most of the time. So if this nerve is present, it would cover a small area of the posterior neck by the external occipital protuberance. C2 covers the posterior side of the head in a C-shaped manner. So easy to remember is it goes from one ear to another ear posteriorly. So its testing can be done in the same manner. So C3 is covering the neck like a collar or a rim. It's like you are wearing necklace. It goes from the lower half of anterior neck round to posterior neck and then coming back to the same side of the anterior neck. Or from the lower cervical spine anteriorly, it goes back posteriorly and then anterior again. We can also see the necklace type of arrangement of the C3 dermatome in this image as well. So C4 is from the medial clavicle to acromioclavicular or ACJ joint. For the C4, remember shoulder region is a very important, and this is a key landmark for testing the C4. Now we will look into dermatomes of the upper limb, which are from C5 to T1 spinal nerves, which are going to innervate that area. And the C5 is a dermatome that spreads over the lateral aspect of arm. C6 supplies the lateral aspect of forearm, including the thumb. So the part of thumb is supplied by C6 dermatome. As I have already told you that the dermatome variation are there from person to person. So the variation can be there in different books, but I am telling you all this from a reference book. So C7 is a small dermatome from the center of a thumb to second and the third digit or an index or the middle finger, both anteriorly and posteriorly. As we can also see this arrangement of this dermatome in this image also. Now talking about the C8, it is from ring finger, little finger to the medial aspect of forearm till cubital fossa, as we can see here. And the T1 is for the medial arm. Till now I have told you about the dermatomes of face, head and neck and the upper limb. You can replay this part again so that it become more easy and understandable for you. And the best way is to build up your neurons and the repetition. So when we do the dermatomes of the thorax and abdomen, the dermatomes of the thorax and abdomen are from T2 to T12. And the most important dermatome to remember in that area is the area of axilla, area of nipple, umbilicus and the hypogastrium. So T3 is a dermatome for axilla. T4 is at the level of nipple and the T10 is at the level of umbilicus, while the hypogastrium is at the level of T12. Now we will cover the dermatomes of the lower limb, and the lower limb dermatome are from L1 to S5. So L1 represents the inguinal area in this region. You can easily remember this when you put your hand in pocket and the direction of your finger is inward or medially. So it represents the inguinal ligament, that is L1. When you put your hand on the thigh, that represents the anterior and the intermediate thigh. Its dermatome is L2, that we can also see here. L3 is for knee area and the L4 is for a medial or the inner aspect of the leg. Outer side of the leg, first, second and the third toe, the dermatome is L5. S1 is for sole of foot and the S5 is for the perineal or buttock area. In these slides, the summary of all these dermatome is given. You can stop video at any point and you can try to correlate it with the images given here. So I am telling you the most important dermatome, level of the thorax, lower limb again. That must be known by all of you. So the T2 is for axilla, T4 is at the level of nipple, T10 is the level of umbilicus, L1 is inguinal ligament area, L3 is for knee, L4 and the S1 for ankle, and S1 is also for the dorsum and the sole of foot. S3 is our sitting area and the S4 is for perineum. So to test these dermatome, you will test along these areas of the concerned dermatome that I have already told you, that you will use a cotton bud or a pin. You can also use the end of a reflex hammer instead of a pin on a clinical side as well. So the point that you don't have to forget while testing is to describe it to a patient or to take a consent. While you are doing a testing, patient eyes should be closed. Third, the testing is done bilaterally, mean the first right side and then the left side. So the question that you will ask from a patient while testing is, do they feel same on the right and the left, or is there any difference? And if the difference is there, how it is going to feel like? To test these areas, look for the sensory deficit. Now I will give you a clinical scenario, and using your knowledge of dermatome that you have covered, you can answer that. So my question is, if the patient complains of numbness, pain and the needle sensation in the outer aspect of upper arm, which segment of the spinal cord is involved? Yes, it's C5. Hence, in this way, we can localize the lesion. Second, if the patient complains of numbness in the lateral forearm and thumb, which area of the spinal cord is involved? Perfect, is C6. If the patient comes to you with the shingles in these areas, as you can see in this image, we know the dermatome at the level of nipple is T4, umbilicus is T10. So this lesion is involving T4 and the area that is below the T4. So T5 and the T4 is involved in this case. In this way, we can correlate these dermatomes with the clinical condition. So dear friends, that was all about the dermatome. In next part, I will tell you about the myotomes. If you like this video and the content, please like, subscribe and hit on a bell icon for the upcoming videos. Thank you.